Today I want to take a look at solving the absolute value equation. So we have the absolute value of -6 minus 3x equals the absolute value of 2x plus 7. What we want to do here is we want to think about absolute value. If I just gave the problem absolute value of x is equal to 5, what we'd have to think about is well, what are all the potential x values that would give us back 5 if we were taking the absolute value? Well, the absolute value is the distance from 0. The absolute value is the distance from 0. So if I'm taking the absolute value of 2, or the absolute value of -2, what I'm asking is how many units away from 0 is -2 or 2. So 2 is 2 units away from 0, and -2 is 2 units away from 0. So if I'm asking the question, absolute value of x is equal to 5, what x values can I put in for x that would make a true statement? I could put in 5, because the absolute value of 5 is 5. And I could put in -5 because the absolute value of -5 is also 5. That's a little bit easier to think about when we're just thinking about a singular x term equal to 5. But in this problem, we have an absolute value of -6 minus 3x equals to the absolute value of 2x plus 7. So what we have to do is we have to set up two equations. We have to set up -6 minus 3x is equal to the positive 2x plus 7. Just like here, how we would say x is equal to 5 and x is equal to -5, right? Because the absolute value of -5 is 5, absolute value of 5 was 5. We have to do the same thing, but we just have two equations then we're going to have to solve. So I have the -6 minus 3x is equal to 2x plus 7, and then I also have to set up an equation, -6 minus 3x is equal to negative, and then we take the opposite of that whole term. Let me move all this over. I don't want to erase it, but I just want to, it's shifting the whole problem. That's fine, whatever. Okay, I wanted to move that over a little bit. Because the principle is there. Like, that's the idea, that we're trying to figure out what x value, so we have to take the positive of this, 2x plus 7, and we want to also take the flip it and make it the opposite. Just like how we did here, we would say x is equal to 5, and x is equal to -5, because we want to take the positive and the negative, because the absolute value of positive 5 is 5, absolute value of -5 is also 5. So we're taking that same approach. Now we're just solving some equations. On the first equation, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides, and I could have added 3x, that's fine, but I'm just going to go ahead with that. So I have -3x minus 2x is -5x equals 7. And then I want to add 6 to both sides, so I get -5x equals 7 plus 6 is 13. Divided by -5, x equals -13 over 5. So that's the first answer. The second, I want to, again, take the opposite of that statement here. So -6 minus 3x equals -2x minus 7. And then solve. I'm going to go the route of moving the 3x over this time, since I did it the other way last time. So I'll have -6 equals -2x plus 3x is positive 1x. -2 plus 3 is 1 minus 7. And then we would add 7 to both sides. -6 plus 7 is positive 1 equal to x. So those would be our two answers that would give us a true statement. You could even go in and check, like plug it in, see what happens, see what you would end up with when you go through and check that out. That's an easy way to check your work and make sure that this actually does work out okay. So yeah, solving absolute value equations, kind of a difficult concept when you're trying to figure out the signs of everything and understanding, like, well, what could the answer possibly be? And you're just thinking in terms of just a simple absolute value of x equal to 5, what could x equals, and then that kind of works its way from there. So hopefully this helps you out with absolute value equations.